So we're at Capital Christian Center because this is where we actually first met, February 19th, 2015, for my city conference. That second time that I went with my church and my youth group, and she went with her ministry.
Yeah, I was a part of the promotion booth with the Lounge of Life. It's my first time there, and there was a lot of people. And I ended up promoting to this guy. He was my last person that I talked to, and I asked him if he was over 18 because I was really striking out on.
I didn't have the beard.
No, he was younger. But it seemed like everybody was a younging, and I ended up asking him how old he was in order to invite him to the Lounge of Life events. And he looked at me and said, "Am I over 18? And I'm like, yeah, well, everybody looks like they're 30, but they're really like 17. And you look 18, but you might be over 20.
But on Friday, I didn't make it to the first part because I had to take my nephew to the doctor, his doctor's appointment. But the moment I come in from that side and I'm making my way onto meeting with the rest of the youth, that's where I spotted her, and that's where I saw her, and she was like the very first person I saw. And that was actually when my good friend Lalo, I ran into him. He was like, "Dude, there's someone you gotta meet. There's someone you have to meet. Like, you have to meet her." And which is like odd for Lalo, he doesn't ever really say that. But once he pointed her out, I was just like, yeah, I met her already. Don't worry, I met her. Even after seeing her that second day, still my focus was like nowhere even near of getting to know her or like trying to approach her or anything. It's just, honestly, she was there standing on our entrance and we were waiting to get in, and we're the closest to our age, so we used that as a common ground and just started talking. Well, before we went on lunch, we had these workshops. So when we got there, since I got there late and she was already there, we didn't see each other. But on the way out, I did see her, and I tried. That's the jitterness kicked in. So I'm just the whole, yeah, I saw her. She saw me. It's all good. We're just gonna keep walking. And I was hoping she was in my class, but she wasn't.
I try to avoid contact after a certain period of time. I'm like, I probably look like I'm staring at him, and his friends probably notice that I'm staring at him.
And yeah, and by that time, like everybody, Malachi, Josh, like, dude, she's super into you, and I'm still like, nah. And Lalo's like, hey, you gotta go for it. You gotta go for it. Like, if you let this one go, Lalo said, if you let this go, then I don't know what to do for you. So there's no pressure from the friends whatsoever. But after the workshops, I saw her again. And that's when we were going to go on lunch, and the guys and I were going to head out to go on lunch, but I convinced them to eat here because she told me she was going to eat here.
And I made sure my friends and I were not leaving that day to go to lunch. We were going to eat here as well.
Yeah.
Don't know why.
So line up. We're chit-chatting. She orders her burger, and then she leaves. She didn't even stick around to talk while we were waiting for her food. Like, she just goes out and finds her friends, and I was just like, rejected. Totally wrong. I knew she wasn't into me. But it was cold, and they played like the electric slide, and I was like, well, I'm cold, I'm freezing, I'm hungry, I'm gonna go do the electric slide. So I'm doing the electric slide, and then I see her come, and I see her that she's staring at me, and that's when I started, really just feeling it. I was like, okay, got someone watching. And this is how I even fell more in love with her without even knowing. Was I walk on way the line, and I was like, oh, you're there. I didn't see you there.
Like you never noticed.
And her response was like, no, I know you knew I was looking at you dance. busts me out. And she still does that. She still busts me out. And I love it. Sometimes. No, I love it.
Yeah.
And then we start talking about it, and that's when I make my bold statement. And I was just like, well, then maybe sometime we can probably go get some ice cream and then go dancing. And then she goes, yeah, it'll be really nice to have a friend who dances, who's a boy. I did my best not to do this face. But I kept the smile on, and I was just like, yeah, of course, friends, yeah.
Well, the reason why I did that is because he kind of shocked me in a way, because when I told him that I dance salsa and I told him I do CrossFit, he goes, wow, you just keep impressing me more and more. And I was like, oh, he likes me. No, back up, back up. And that's why I threw the friend part in.
Yeah. So now so many mixed signals are going on. And not in the like high school mixed single diva way, just of the I know she was protecting her heart and she wanted to see my intention. So I saw that. So that's why I wasn't fazed by it. I was hurt a little bit.
But not phased, right?
But not phased. You know what that means. But don't worry, there was hope, because after that we got our food, and I was gonna walk out with my friend, and she was gonna go walk around, and she goes, hey, before the last class, make sure you stop by the booth. And say hi. I try not to do this face. What? So I just kept cool. I was like, yeah, of course. I turn around and I was like, I make it to my friends victoriously.
I don't even want to eat after
They're all asking me like, what's going on? What happened? Did I ask for a number? Malachi tried to give me dating advice. He's 14. 14? I think he's 14. He was trying to tell me what to do. I thought it was cute. It was fun. But no way. I literally just did a whole pep talk with my friends and like kind of like tell them like, all right, I don't know what to do. That's not normal for me. Nothing with her was normal, and that's what I love about it. There's nothing that I could have fabricated that went the way it went to. So it was finally time. It was the very last class. It was Saturday night. If I didn't ask her for a number, I don't know when I would have seen her again. Probably at the lounge, but it would have been so different. So we're lining up, and I asked to sit next to with her on a little bench area that they had, and we're just talking. But once again, just talking about each other individually, about our lives. And this whole 3 days, I knew a lot more than she actually knew about me. So that's when she actually started asking me questions, and I was answering. It's all right.
I got a lot to say. Make sure he knew what he was getting into.
Yeah, I did. I took notes. And I can hear the music. One song plays. I'm like, in my mind, do it, do it, do it. Ask for the number. Ask for the number. The words weren't coming out. So I thought I'm going to do this as respectfully as I can. And I asked, and I was like, so I think I said something like, I hope it's appropriate. I'm wondering if it's appropriate for me if I can have your number to call you or text you, you know, or yeah. Her face was like this. Appropriate? Just ask me straight up. I was like, what? I didn't know how. I didn't want to be like, what's up, girl? Can I get your number? And then that's when she's like, no, definitely not. Do it again. So then I asked her, I was like, all right, so I was wondering if I could get your phone number and take you out to eat or call you sometime. She said yes. That's why we're here. So I thought that I was going to telepathically get her phone number because I forgot to get my phone out.
So we're just sitting there looking at each other.
So I'm literally just like, she's staring at me. I'm like, that's right, my phone. My phone's at the coffee table. I grab it. My hands and my palms are sweaty. My phone is like activation lock. It wouldn't unlock whatsoever because like the moist on my fingers. But I got it unlocked. I was able to save her phone number. And that's how we met. And since that day,
no,
and she told me, and she's like, oh, don't be discouraged if I don't text back because I don't ever text back. I always forget. I'm awful about it. She always texts back, always calls me back, and she always answers. So it's because she loves me more than you guys. That's why.
But at the end of the night, we had to tear down the booth and whatnot. So of course it's just me and Paul that were there, and we pretty much did not have any manpower to take it down. So of course this amazing man decides to volunteer his whole youth group to help us tear
They all
it down. So he volunteers himself, and I come up to him. I'm like, "Oh, so you're just like helping us out of the kindness out of your heart, right? Not to spend any time with me." And he goes, "Huh."
She busted me out. Like Paul goes to her, like, "Oh, this J.Cruz guy is gonna help us. He's gonna help with him back. He's so awesome. That's so amazing." And that's what she comes up to. She's like, "Yeah, that's the reason. For the kindness of your heart." Totally busted me out. I didn't have anything to say. She walked away.
But we did end up going out with the whole group to eat and got to spend some more time and getting to know him a little more, seeing where he comes from and how he is with his friends. Because I've only seen him interact from a distance with his friends, but now he's also was interacting with my friends, so that meant a lot to me. That he wasn't weird or creepy.
Ryan loved me.
Yeah.
I knew Ryan was like to go to. He better like me, but he didn't. I didn't know that until like way later. So
Yeah.
thank you for loving me, Ryan.
That was my first sign of approval.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's how we met. And we couldn't have written it ourselves or fabricated it ourselves. God, it's just really good. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
So growing up non-Christian, especially in the Mexican culture, you know, you're kind of taught subconsciously what kind of women to go for. The cook, the cleaner, whatever, you know, whatever that might be. And everything changed when I became Christian. I became to learn and taught by my youth pastor and the people around me of what type of woman do we really want. Obviously a woman who serves the Lord, but there's more than just serving the Lord. So I remember this one time in Woodland, years ago in Lala's old house in the garage, our youth pastor had us write down what we wanted, the attributes that I wanted. And I'm not gonna go through the list, but I had a lot of them. Because when I gave my life to God, I believed that I was worth a lot. I believe that the price that God paid for me was a lot. And so I felt like I deserved the best if I wanted to be the best. Because I believe every day that I want to be the best person I could be for, as a father, as a friend, and as a partner in life. But unfortunately, as I started growing up, my standards started getting low. My standards, I kept taking things out. And it wasn't until I had a one-on-one with God again, and He reminded me of that day, and that should not lower my standards. And it was when I made a real decision of what type of woman I wanted. And not just wanted, but honestly what type of woman I needed. And I know there's a reason why Elina and I get along so well. I know there's a reason why everybody thinks that we've been together for years. It was because I knew this woman before the day I met her. And I know there's a reason why Elina and I get along so well. I know there's a reason why everybody thinks that we've been together for years. It was because I knew this woman before the day I met her. I had her in a piece of paper, from the detail of her hair to the way she dresses to her light skin. I had a standard all along, and I never went through it. So when I finally met her, I honestly felt like I finally had a face and a name to the woman on that sheet. And God is so good that He didn't just give me the details on that piece of paper, but He also did above and beyond. On that sheet of paper, I honestly didn't put, a mother, but I did write what type of mother I wanted for my kids. And there's no way I could have seen that in her if she didn't have a kid. But I did write what type of mother I wanted for my kids, and there's no way I could have seen that in her if she didn't have a kid. But she's her. Every single characteristic that I asked God for, that I wrote down in that piece of paper, and I even had in my heart and my spirit, that's this woman. She is this woman inside and out, from how honest she is to the way she dresses, to even how she gets mad. Yeah, we're not perfect, you know. I know she has her moments and she has her days. And a wise man was told me that there's no person without a flaw. So you have to choose a flaw that you can love. And I love her flaws. Even though she doesn't like her own flaws, I love them. Absolutely love them. They make me stronger, and my flaws make her stronger. She's honestly my best friend. I get to marry my best friend. I get to marry my ministry partner. I get to marry the woman who I had in the sheet of paper, and I get to marry the woman that God has for me, and it's Elina Bogdanovich. And I am so blessed by her parents for raising such an amazing woman. I am so blessed by God for raising such an amazing woman. I'm so blessed by her siblings, because I know they had a lot of molding to do with her. So I just wanted to add that I hope this video also just serves as for those in the audience to know that you can never be too picky. There's no such thing as being too picky. It might take longer. It took me 28 years. It took her 28 years as well. But once you meet that person, once I met her, I don't care what I went through in the past. I don't care how many mistakes I made, and I don't care how many mistakes she made, because it made her the woman that she is today, who is going to be my wife, who is my wife now.
So, a couple years back, I received a prophetic word at my church. I was pretty much in a low part of my life, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. And the word was to write down specifically what were the desires of my heart. And I took a chance and I wrote down, which I thought seemed really shallow at the time, that I didn't want to spend my life alone. I wanted to provide my son with a family and with a man that he can look up to, a godly man, nothing less. And I set standards, and I wrote down characteristics, personality traits, physical qualities, just everything that I wanted in a man that I believe God put in my heart that attracted me to that certain man. I wrote it down, and I did it by faith, and I kept adding to it, and it's in my Bible. That little sheet of paper is covered front and back with qualities. And when I met J.Cruz, I took out that sheet and I was able to mark off every single one of those qualities. And it was because God gave me what I wanted, what I desired. He placed those desires in my heart. And I get to experience it in a man who loves me unconditionally, who I get to love unconditionally. I get to love the way that I know how to love, the way God created me to love. And it's accepted and it's reciprocated. And I honestly believe that God does an amazing job with redeeming us. He does wash us clean and white as snow, and redeems us, and we need to be faithful and hopeful and obedient to Him, because He only wants the best for us, and I see that, and I get to live that out every single day of my life. And I know that for the next 80 plus years, I get to be loved by a man that God created just for me, and I'm grateful for that.